Stage managers only have two job responsibilities: getting ready to maintain the show and maintaining the show. My name is Kent, and this is your half-hour call.
Attention cast and crew, this is your half-hour call. Half hour to the top of the show. Half hour.
Alrighty friends, we are back with yet another episode of the Almost Complete Guide to Stage Management. Today we are talking about maintaining a show, so everything that happens from opening night till closing night and beyond. But if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Kent, and you are watching Half Hour Call, where we're dedicated to shining the spotlight on technical theater. So if you want how-to videos, interviews with industry leaders, and general theater updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another video. I have a secret to tell you. Everything that we have talked about thus far has been leading up to prepare you to do this one job. Maintaining the show is the stage manager's job after opening, and everything we've been doing up until this point is preparing you to maintain the show. Taking blocking, creating run sheets, the tech process, learning how to call the show, all of that is part of maintaining the show in the long run. And while this is primarily the domain of the production stage manager, it's something that all stage managers need to be able to do. Stage managers are uniquely positioned to have an intimate knowledge of every single aspect of the show, which is why production stage managers are often asked to stage remounts or national tours. It's also why stage managers are tasked with maintaining the show while it's open. This includes giving actors notes, making sure that understudies and replacements are good to go, keeping up morale, and running different types of rehearsals throughout the run. Now, some commercial shows will have things like associate directors that will be able to come in and give notes on the director's behalf, but they're not there every day and are pretty much exclusive to commercial productions anyway. So in the meantime, the stage manager is the one that is going to have to give actors notes. It's normal that things change and shift during a production, but if things start to stray away from the original intent of the director, it's time to gently nudge things back on course. Now, of course, every actor is different in how they receive notes, but regardless, it is your job to maintain the show, so you're gonna have to figure out the best way to give each actor a note. Now, the first thing to decide is when or even if to give an actor a note. Personally, if it's not something that affects safety, I think everyone's allowed to have an off day. But if you make the same mistake twice in a row, that's probably getting to be a choice or a habit and needs to be addressed. So if someone flubs a line on Tuesday, I'm not going to give them a note that night. But if they flub the line on Tuesday and in the Wednesday matinee and in the Wednesday evening show, I might give them a line note. Now, other than the actual text of the play itself, I have two main methods for giving out notes, both of which require specificity and detailed information about the show itself. Now, perhaps the easiest way to give notes to actors is to give a specific technical note, saying, "You were out of your light for your solo, can you be 3 more feet to the right?" Goes over a lot easier than saying, "You were in the wrong spot for your solo." Similarly, things that can be more subjective, like pacing and energy, can actually be made objective by using similar tactics. Instead of going to an actor and saying, "Whew, you really sucked the energy out of that scene, didn't you?" I might say something like, "Hey, this scene is getting to be about 2 minutes longer than it was originally staged. Can we pick up the pace just a bit?" The second method is for things like motivation and intention and things that are a little bit more subjective than placement on stage and length of scene. Keeping detailed notes on the way the director directs the show, including actor motivation, will give you a lot of information that you can use to maintain the show. Using words and phrases and details that the director specifically talked about during rehearsals can help to give your notes some credibility with the actors. And as the run progresses, hopefully you'll develop a rapport with your cast, and so you can approach notes in a new way that you know that that specific actor will respond to. The most important thing to remember about notes is that you are not trying to change the show, you are just trying to maintain the director's vision of the show. I like to picture giving notes as a stage manager kind of like being the people that do the brushing on a curling team, where like the director is the main curler person who sends the stone off in a certain direction, and if it starts to veer off from the chosen path, we use our little brushes, which are notes, to make sure that it's maintaining its specific trajectory that gets to the place that we want it to go. One of the best things you can do to maintain the show is to make friends with your captains, whether that's a fight captain, a dance captain, or an intimacy captain. Captains are members of the company that are in charge of maintaining a specific aspect of the show, so the dance captain is in charge of maintaining the choreography, and so on and so forth. You'll want to coordinate with these captains if you're giving notes on anything that has to do with their domain, so that way you're not giving the same note to an actor twice, and you can also perhaps decide who is the best person to give that note. They will also be your best friend for understudy rehearsals. If your show is lucky enough to have understudies, standbys, or swings, they will need to be rehearsed, and that usually falls to the captains and the stage management team. Generally speaking, as soon as the show opens, understudies, standbys, and swings will start to get rehearsed a couple times a week until they're ready to perform in every role that they cover. This will usually be a collaboration between the stage managers and the captains, and sometimes they won't even call people that aren't understudies to these rehearsals. Once shows are open, equity contracts allow for a certain number of rehearsal hours every week, and while you don't have to use them, they are there if you need them. Now, for a short run, or in the case of an emergency, you might not get understudy rehearsals before understudies have to perform. In that case, during the rehearsal process or as soon as the understudies are brought on, you should encourage them to put together a wish list of what they would want to run in the case they have to do an emergency put-in rehearsal for them. This should start with things that impact their safety and other people's safety. So if there's a fight scene, include the fight scene. If there's a time where they ride automation, have them ride the automation. All of that. But basically, rank it in order of most important to least important. So if you only have time to do one or two things on the list, you already know which one or two things you prioritize in that rehearsal. The good news is the odds are pretty good that things that are on top of those understudy wish lists are going to be ran every day before the shows anyway. Things like fight scenes, lifts, and stunts are going to be run or marched through before the show starts every single day at a fight call, lift call, or stunt call, depending on what show you're working on. While a stage manager is usually present, these are generally run by the appropriate captain. So for lift call, it would be the dance captain. For fight call, it would be the fight captain, and so on and so forth. Especially in long-running shows that have a full complement of understudies where the cast can change from night to night, this is a moment for the people who are going to be in the scenes together to make sure that they're on the same page. And these calls happen whether there are understudies going on that day or not. It's super important for elements of extraordinary risk that we don't stray away from the original choreography. And of course, while these don't actually eliminate any possibility of things going wrong, they significantly reduce it because it makes sure everyone is on the same page before the show begins. And of course, especially for long runs, stage managers are instrumental in maintaining company morale. Not only do we set the tone for rehearsals and performances and always put our best foot forward, we also are in a unique position to really easily organize company outings or potlucks or birthday celebrations or what have you. And while I'm not sure that potlucks are going to have a place in the near post-pandemic future, there are many ways that don't involve sharing utensils to boost company morale. This could include things that are tradition, like Dollar Friday, or things that you completely make up based on the show. But just like when giving performance notes, you know what your cast and crew is going to respond to best. And of course, don't forget to boost your own morale by buying a Stage Manager Duck, available now at kentjamescollins.com/store, free shipping on all domestic orders. Maintaining a show is one of the most nuanced, complicated, and multifaceted parts of a stage manager's job, and it realistically could encompass the entirety of what a stage manager does. But everything that we've been talking about up until this point has also been preparing you for that responsibility. So as long as you approach it with the mindset of, what show am I working on, and how can I best serve this specific show with this specific cast, you'll be fine. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite ways to boost morale for a cast and crew are. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. My name is Kent, and this has been your half-hour call.
Find the perfect gift for the stage manager in your life at the Half-Hour Call store, now with free shipping on all domestic orders. New products added frequently. Visit kentjamescollins.com/store to shop now.